Alrighty, welcome everybody. This is the Stewards Conspiracy Corner. My name's Ike Parshall, and this is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Dan Noss.
So today we're going through this podcast because me and Dan are good friends. We're huge Formula One fans, and one of the big things that we talk about is different conspiracy theories that are happening around the racing world, not just Formula One.
And rumors and all sorts of other news and aspects of Formula One. And also we have our big fans of Indycar as well.
Yeah, exactly. So bear with us as we start this podcast. Some of the quality things might not be to tip-top shape, but as we go through week to week, we'll be releasing these episodes on Wednesdays, which is absolutely just exciting in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. So I just wanted to let you know, we do have two primary sponsors so far.
That's right.
One of them is right in front of you here. Who is it?
This is Formula Coffee Co. So it's a racing coffee company that I started. Huge, like I said, huge fan of racing. Wanted to start a coffee company that kind of blends those two worlds together. So you can find some at formulacoffeeco.com. And yeah, give it a try. We roast it every week and it gets shipped to you the same week. So
awesome. And I got to attest, I have had the coffee and it is extremely good.
Thanks, Dan.
And then we also have another sponsor, which is D&H Toys. They're a toy store in Shakopee, Minnesota. They have Funko Pops, puzzles, games, cards, Legos, a whole host of stuff. So if you stop by in Shakopee, look us up on Google Maps and stop in and say hello.
Yeah. And also want to say, if you want to be a sponsor of this show, there's the email in our bios, so you can obviously hit us up, and we would love to sponsor you somehow, whether it is in one of our segments of our show, however it may be, we would love to sponsor you. So let's dive right in. I think the main reason we kind of explained why we wanted to start this show is because we already talk about Formula One and racing
constantly.
All the time. And so we were like, why don't we just start a podcast? I mean, I have the gear. You have the store. We can do it in the corner. Obviously, this is the Conspiracy Corner. So if you visit D&H Toys, you can come right here where we film every single week. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have a studio audience at some point.
That's right. That's right. We have one studio audience in the crowd right now. So one of the things, Dan, that we want to talk about today is how we became Formula One fans.
Yes.
And also who is our main team that we support.
Right. Well, so do you want to start off or you want me to start off?
You go for it.
All right. So I started off watching Formula One back in the days of Michael Schumacher and Ferrari and watching him win championship after championship. And I thought, this is just amazing. I love Formula One. But then all of a sudden, back in 2018, Haas came around. 2018, 2019. And I said, American team, I have to get on board American team. So Haas is my team. Now, there aren't too many Haas fans, I have to admit. I am one of them.
Out of the 75, you're one of the 75.
I'm one of the 75 fans. But I am a true Haas fan through and through. I've been watching when Roman Grosjean was there, when then they got Kevin Magnussen.
Yep.
And Kevin Magnussen, my favorite driver of Haas of all time. I was sad to see him go for a year, but I'm glad they brought him back. And then, they brought in two very young drivers. One of them was Mick Schumacher,
Yep.
the son of Michael Schumacher. So I was kind of excited to see if Mick Schumacher could actually do well in Formula One and meet the standards of what his father did. But he didn't pan out. But he is in IndyCar, and he's doing rather well.
Yeah, he is, for his rookie year.
Yeah, for his rookie year, yeah. And I was kind of glad that, IndyCar as well. I've been following Grosjean as well. So it's kind of nice to see Haas as a Haas fan, ex-Haas drivers in IndyCar and be able to follow them at least through that.
No, absolutely. And I think just to kind of go off of the Kevin Magnussen train, when he got pole, I know it was because of a rain delay in Brazil a couple years ago. I don't think I've ever been more happy for a driver when that happened. And that was like, what a crazy turn of events, how he was on pole. It was kind of by, accident, but hey, that's one of the reasons why you got to go out early, right, and get in a strong banker lap, because no matter what, something could happen where rain comes, an accident happens, anything in that nature, and you're going to find yourself on pole.
Correct. Absolutely. One of my favorite was Magnussen in Miami, where he did everything he possibly could to make sure that Grosjean got points. Or sorry, not Grosjean. Nico got points.
Yes. And
he did a fantastic job holding people off and making sure that he got those points.
It's great to see when, especially in Formula One, since you only have one other teammate, when your teammate is on your side,
yes,
and willing to help you. I mean, you name it. Sergio Perez, when the final in Abu Dhabi, the infamous final where Lewis Hamilton, had almost 40 seconds on the whole field, and then I think it was a Williams that crashed. It was Latifi that crashed, right? Or was it? I can't remember. But one of the drivers crashed, and then he found himself, right behind Lewis Hamilton, and partly because of Sergio Perez. So that's pretty cool.
Right. But then on the flip side, when you have your teammates battling each other, McLaren. Oh, and then also at times, Mercedes, especially with Kimi, when Kimi's putting his elbows out, they could get into trouble, and then they could let other teams go right by.
Yep. No, absolutely. So anyway, we went off topic, which is the whole point of this show, is that we have the ability to go off topic. But I want to talk about my experience getting into Formula One. Wasn't actually a Formula One race that I was watching. It was a Indycar race. And the reason that I got into racing in general was from my best friend. His family's been going to the Indy 500 every single year for decades. And one year he invited me, and he explained to me, because I was always the same opinion of being like, well, it's just cars going around in circles. Like, how exciting could it be, right? Like, it's not that exciting. But he explained to me, he's like, pick a driver, doesn't matter who it is, just pick one person and follow them through the whole entire race. And when the Indy 500 started and those cars came by, and you could smell the rubber and you could smell the exhaust and just the speed that they came by and the sound, I was immediately hooked. I was like, I'm dedicating my life to this sport because it's fantastic.
So you're more hooked now on IndyCar or Formula One?
No, so now I'm more hooked on Formula One. And so, but that was my entry. So after the Indy 500, I literally went online and was like, what is the top racing category in the world? And obviously Formula One's that. So Formula One popped up, and I was following it ever since. And when I started watching, I said, you got to be a Ferrari fan. You got to be a Ferrari fan. So that is my main team, and you could know this for a fact of how excited I was when Lewis Hamilton joined the Prancing Horses.
Yeah. Well, Lewis was a great pickup. Had a slow start last year, but has really come along a long ways.
And we got a lot to talk about, especially with Lewis Hamilton's career this year. I mean, you could talk about the conspiracy of simulators, of how he decided not to use a simulator at all.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't use a simulator at the moment because he doesn't feel that it truly gives him the feel of the track. He says, I'm going to go without the simulator. So that's pretty exciting. And ever since he's done that, to be honest, he's been doing amazing.
Well, he also has gotten a much better car this year than he had last year.
That's true.
And then the upgrades that they put in the last few races have really upped the advantage that that Ferrari has on Mercedes.
Yep.
Mercedes also had to take the engine compression ratio out that they had that advantage for.
Yep.
So now in the last few races, it's been pretty equal footing.
It has, and I still think that Mercedes is hard to beat, but You know what's fascinating is that that Mercedes is not reliable at all, especially when it's pushing.
Well, you've seen that. I mean, Kimi went out, and then the McLarens are using the same time of the engine, and they've been dropping out too.
They've been dropping out. So I think that there's something going on with that Mercedes engine. I know Kimi's reliability was not because of the engine this last race, but a couple races back, George had failure.
George.
McLaren's been and that's another question McLaren's got to be asking. Why is our engine not the same or not performing at the same level as the
they did
sponsor team?
During China, when they were not even at the starting line for China, they said, okay, Mercedes, you got to answer why this engine isn't up to snuff compared to what you provide or what you're racing. So I think after that, there was a little bit of an answering that Mercedes had to do with McLaren.
Yeah, and of course, they'll never release that to the public of those reasons. So, but no, it's fascinating to see this year, especially some of the technological innovations that Ferrari's done, especially with the little wing inlet at the end of the exhaust. That has been something that they said is banned in future years. So in 2027, they're banning that wing, that little winglet that comes over the exhaust because it provides too much advantage.
Well, also too, I mean, Mercedes at the beginning of the year with their smaller turbo and the turbo compression, they got launches off of the starting line that were insane.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the different turbo sizes is definitely something to consider. And now they've kind of balanced everything out, right? Like in the regulations, they had a clause where they could say we're gonna allow different engine developers to develop more than others, which I think is also fascinating because Red Bull right now claims to have the best engine or is told they have the best engine.
Wow.
But
they haven't been, I mean, got to admit though, Max has gotten podium a few times recently.
Yep.
The last race here wasn't as good as previous races, but that Red Bull car is really starting to churn up and get some speed behind it.
So speaking of Red Bull, I think that leads us perfectly into our next kind of conspiracy segment here.
Yeah? What's that?
Do you think that Oscar and Max are going to do a swap?
So here's the thing, right? I don't know if McLaren is crazy or what, but I would never give up Oscar Piastri. With how much upside, how much potential he has as a driver, and how well he did last year, and he's still doing okay this year with the car that they have and everything else, I don't know why they would give up Oscar Piastri.
I have to agree with you. Why would you give up a driver who, granted, it may not be McLaren's decision because they kind of valued Lando towards the end of last season to win the world championship.
Yes.
And that whole debacle. I mean, that was insanity. Some of the team decisions that they made throughout the season was just insane. But I would agree with you. Why would you give up Oscar, who is an up-and-coming world champion? I really believe that Oscar Piastri has what it takes to be a world champion in the future.
Absolutely.
And understand that Max is in his prime, but Max is constantly complaining when he doesn't get a good car that he's either going to leave the sport or go to a different racing series.
Right, but I've also noticed, I mean, there's been instances where Max has been a very horrible teammate, and he has not played the team role when asked to play the team role.
No, I totally agree with you. And I think what pops into my head is the very famous documentary series. It talks about how Formula One drivers care about one thing and one thing only: themselves.
Right. Well, especially Max, right? Max has been a 4-time champion, and he's looking for that car. He's always looking for that car that can win him the next championship. Well, it's looking like right now Red Bull's not that car. Now, I don't know. You remember that Max has that clause in his contract that if he's not up in the rankings by mid-season, he can take a release clause and get out of the contract with Red Bull.
And I think that's exactly what is playing out, even though both teams are denying the rumors around an Oscar Max swap. I think that it's very likely that that's going to happen.
It could be, because I mean, Max, Red Bull has been trying to buy out that clause on Max's contract so that they can lock him in, and I haven't heard anything about that being closed. So it's still open. Then that means there's the door for Max mid-season to say, I'm out of here.
And these rumors, they are more true in my thinking. What I'm saying is, I think that they're more true than what other rumors might be. For example, Max had links to Mercedes for a while.
Yes.
He was going on trips with Toto, drinking champagne, getting schmoozed up by Mercedes. I think here is the deciding factor. I think that George is probably out of Mercedes, but I think they're going to fill it with somebody else. I think Kimi's seat was potentially at risk for Max to take. That's my take.
So
before he started to do really well, that's my take. Now that Kimi has skyrocketed and has shown that he can handle not only a car like Mercedes, not only a team like Mercedes, but be a leader in the Drivers' World Championship. I mean, the next person out would be George. Why would you get rid of George?
Well, right, but isn't George's contract coming up here in the next year or so?
It is, but I don't think that. So we were never released the details of that contract. I think that there's a clause in there that George can stay. And I don't see why you would get rid of George, who is not only contending with Kimi for the World Championship, but you got two prime drivers. And I get it's Max, but George is way more able to work with you, in my opinion, than Max would be. If you don't provide Max with the right car, then it's like he's like, I'm finding the next best thing.
Right, and that's where it comes down to, right? Max just feels, I'm number one. I don't care about anybody else. I'm number one. Get me my car that can win me my championship.
Yep, I think that is 100% Max's mentality.
Yep.
And that brings up a good question, though. Why would you go to Mercedes now? I get that they've won the World Championship in a different era of regulations, but they really haven't proven that they have that great of a car.
Right, but right now the Ford engine in Red Bull is still kind of a mystery too. How is that going to perform for the rest of this cycle in this new era?
Yeah.
So I think with Max, he's looking right now to this, just the current moment and where they're at, and he doesn't want to be where they're at. He wants to be in something that shows promise and can show winning right now, and that's right is Mercedes.
Yeah, no.
But if Mercedes is closed, then why would he want to go to McLaren? Because McLaren's not doing as well as Red Bull is.
Yep. And there's been such a shakeup in Red Bull too, where I don't know if Max feels like he's the top priority anymore. I think in the past years when he's won world championships, it didn't matter who the second driver was. The focus is Max. What does Max want? But now you see that partly because they don't have that great of a car, but you got Isaac Hadjar, who's doing an amazing job keeping up with Max wherever they're at car-wise, and we knew Isaac Hadjar was going to do great, and kind of worked his way through the junior Red Bull team into the main car. But yeah, I think if Max doesn't feel like he's going to be the number one priority, he's going to say, I'm not going to join your team.
Well, right. But, I mean, why wouldn't he try to go for another team, such as Ferrari? Well, I know Ferrari's got Charles.
Now that's a conspiracy.
With
Max is
Charles.
actually talking to Ferrari.
but Ferrari locked in Charles.
Yep, locked him in.
So he's locked in for a few more years. But that would leave Lewis But with how Lewis is doing right now, I mean, maybe last year, if Lewis didn't perform and he was still performing like he did last year, maybe Ferrari would say, yeah, Max, come over to us.
Yeah. Now that would be a switch up. Charles and Max on the same team. Could you imagine?
Well, and then can you imagine Lewis in a Red Bull after all the years of him fighting with Red Bull?
Oh my gosh. I don't think that's like oil and water, Dad. Lewis in a Red Bull. So, speaking of Red Bull, where do you think Christian Horner is going to end up?
Nowhere, I hope. I really hope that he's not going to be coming in to Formula One. Now, I did hear that there might be another team that could be coming in.
Yeah, it was BYD.
Yeah.
The Chinese electric car manufacturer.
And they were talking with Horner at possibly heading up their team. So there might be that going on, but I would prefer not to see Horner back into Formula One.
So he was at the British Grand Prix, which was big news because he hadn't been in a Formula One paddock for almost a year, exactly a year from the last British Grand Prix when after he got sacked. So what I think is very interesting is just the nature of the team being as bad as it is right now could pick up Horner to get a jump start.
You're thinking he might go back to Red Bull?
No.
Who?
Aston Martin.
Now, that's a very strong possibility because Aston Martin has struggled mightily this year.
Mightily, even though it's like you can have a great garage of tools, right?
Yep.
You have all the right power tools. You have everything you need, and yet you don't know how to use them.
Well, I mean, you got one of the best tools in all of racing, and Adrian Newey.
Yep.
How can you have Adrian Newey as your main designer and still have a car that can't get out of 18th and 19th place?
Right. It's terrible. And also the last race, it was like the car was uncontrollable. I mean, Lance got multiple penalties for going over track limits, which, ultimately I think is the car's issue. I think that car is just super loose. It's super heavy.
Well, and then at the beginning of the year, they had all those vibration problems.
Oh yeah,
where they couldn't even last half of a race before they had to retire.
They had to retire because the driver just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, they went numb.
That was nerve damage.
Yeah,
it's a spinal. No, I'm just kidding. So one of the things that I thought was interesting about the Aston Martin, reveal this year was they revealed the all-black car, obviously, in preseason testing. And when I saw that car, I thought, wow, that car looks insane. Like, it looks insane in the sense of it looks good. Like, it looks like a good car. It looks like it could have the right elements, especially anything that Adrian Newey does. You're thinking, this is going to be great. This thing's going to be a rocket ship. And you know what it gave me vibes to is when Mercedes released their car a couple of years and it had no side pods. Remember how different that car looked compared to the rest of the grid?
Yes.
And before it went out and actually showed that it was a junk box, the everyone was afraid because they were like, did Mercedes catch on to something that we didn't? Right? Like, that's always the fear. When you see these new designs, you're like, man, did they get something? Did they get it right? And did we get it wrong? Did everyone else just read the regulations and say, oh, those side pods are supposed to look like this, and everyone's looks the same? And the Mercedes comes out with no side pods, just these inlets, and is this going to be a rocket ship? That's always kind of the in-betweens, and that's what I felt like with Aston Martin this last year. I thought, wow, their car just looks really different compared to the rest of the field.
Right, but then we realized it's, much heavier than the rest of the cars.
Yes.
And then the Honda engine group was fighting with the chassis group, and then you got the whole infighting within the mechanical team. I mean, it wasn't the driver's fault on this one.
And really, that's your biggest fear. And I think that's what I mean by them having all the right tools is that, they have a proven winner in Honda, right? Honda does racing really well.
Well, they have a proven track record with Red Bull.
With Red Bull, with IndyCar, they do IndyCar, the same, not the same type of engine, but it's the hybrid V6 turbo engines. So it's like they know what they're doing. But they get into these woes when new regulations come out.
Right.
And we saw that with McLaren, 7 years ago when they were with Honda, and they just could not get their car started. Couldn't get it off the line.
Right. Now, if we want to talk about a team that really has gotten affected by the switch over to the new regulation, we could talk about Williams.
Yes.
And Williams, towards the end of the last round of regulation designs, we're starting to get up there, starting to do really well. And Carlos was actually coming into really being comfortable within the car and the team. And then this year, I don't know what happened with the new regulation, but that car is just not where it was last year.
No, it's almost embarrassing, right? Like, it's embarrassing to have a car where you were on such a good track record from being a team that just like 6 years ago with Latifi couldn't really go anywhere. It was just in the back all the time. And then you started to get up there. You hired Albon. Albon started doing amazing for the team. You sign a huge driver like Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz had the pick of the field.
Yep.
He could have gone to Mercedes for a year. He won a long-term deal. We get that, right? But you sign a huge driver, and you're thinking, all right, this is the start. We're on the technical grind. We have a few hiccups here and there, but we're moving. And then you come out this year, and it is just you can't get into preseason testing. Your car is overweight. Yep. You don't know if you're going to have parts ready.
Yeah, they didn't have spares ready.
They have spares ready. You're showing your hand a little bit that you are not going to be competitive this season. And for how competitive the midfield is, that's a big knock on Williams for their progression the last couple of years.
Right. Now, we'll see how this progresses over the cycle, because as well as I do, as you move along in the new regulations, the cars get better and better and better, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm kind of a Williams fan.
I am too.
I've liked Williams for quite a while. I mean, they've had some good drivers, good history, and then it's kind of disappointing to see them coming out and performing this way.
Yeah, especially like you said, being one of the oldest teams on the grid, it's something where you would think that they have a better technical ability or just because of the rich history, because of maybe the long-standing people who have been at the team, you would think they would progress, kind of like Ferrari, right? Ferrari's also a super old team. They've been in the sport forever. Their main thing is Formula One. They dump all their money into racing just because that's the heart of it, right? And I think Williams, through maybe some business changes, some buyouts, selling the team, maybe have lost that heart a little bit, right? And I think James Vowles is an amazing team principal. I think he's doing a great job for the team. I think what I would want to see is less of them coming out of races and being like, we messed up, we'll do better, but more of kind of like you can't be like the Christian Horners of the world, right? Because then you're seen as this toxic, terrible kind of team that fires people really quickly, doesn't give anybody a chance. And then you have the other side where maybe you can talk about a Haas or a Gunther, and who hires young people and is like a little bit more lax, but isn't really doing much, kind of in the backfield. It's a team that's struggling money-wise, whatever. You kind of have to find a good balance in the middle where, yes, you're hard on your team, you're hard on yourself, yet you still have a friend, like not a friendly, but a welcoming work culture, right? Where everyone's striving to be the best. And I think that's the difference. I think they've gone a little bit too lax to where they think, well, we have great drivers, it's just our car's bad, and we're just going to kind of figure it out this year. It feels like there's no, and I'm not in the team, right? But it doesn't feel like there's this drive.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
This is why it's called the Conspiracy Corner. It's our opinion. It's our thoughts.
Exactly.
We're not in with the teams or anything else, but we're just laying out our thoughts on what we feel is where they're at.
And we love all the teams. Right?
We do.
So,
yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
It's nothing that's like against the teams. It's just talking about the sport. It's talking about what we kind of see on a day-to-day or every week that we watch the race, kind of what we're noticing. So it's just fun to talk about. Because
Absolutely.
Who knows what's going on in these
Right.
teams? Maybe we're totally wrong, right? And someday when we meet you guys, which we hope we do, is we'll get told that we're wrong, right? You're like, no, we do have drive in this team, and here's why, right?
Right.
So, no, it's great. And I think the Williams team, I love the Williams team. And we were able to go to the Williams team but their pop-up kind of fun activities and things like that.
Right. I have to admit, I mean, this was when we were at the Las Vegas Grand Prix a couple years ago.
Yep. 2 years ago.
2024.
George won.
Yay.
Hey.
Go George. But that fan setup that Williams had, I have to admit, was the best fan setup I have ever seen.
Oh, it was fantastic. And
At least at that Grand Prix.
for sure. And I think that's the thing, right? They go all out for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and we know that. Just the amount of money that they spend because it's such a high-profile race. It's iconic because it goes through the strip. Like, it's a great race. So you would want your team to do something really crazy and cool. And I think, yeah, we just missed, actually, the drivers.
We did. We missed Lando.
Yep.
We missed the Williams drivers.
The Williams drivers.
Who else did we miss?
We missed, who was it? Well, we saw all of them at the drivers when they go on stage.
Correct.
Where they talk.
Right.
We saw them all there.
But the signing in their certain locations.
Yeah,
where Lando was at the Caesar's Palace. No.
Yeah, at the
Bellagio.
The Toomey.
Yeah.
The Toomey store.
At Bellagio.
And literally we got there and a crowd was dissipating and they're like, yeah, Lando was just here.
Yep.
And we were like, what? Or was it Oscar? Either way. It was one or the other.
One of the Williams drivers.
Right. Well, one of the McLaren drivers.
One of the McLaren drivers, right in front of the McLaren car.
Right. Yeah, that was cool. They had, that's the crazy thing is that in all of these hotels in Las Vegas, they have the actual Formula One cars or the display cars. They have actual McLaren, huge, really nice McLaren sitting there. If you have the opportunity to go to Las Vegas Grand Prix, go, because it was a blast. And try to find every car in the different hotels.
Well, that was our day, right?
Yep.
We'd wake up, and then we'd go get breakfast, and then go hunt down all the cars. And it wasn't just the Formula One display cars. They also had the Pagani. They also had.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
That was insane. I mean, any car ever that I want to get was that Pagani.
It's like a $3 million car.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, and then they had at the Wynn. Didn't at the Wynn they have all other types of racing cars from across the ages?
Yes, they did. And we didn't go into Lewis Hamilton's pop-up shop, but when we looked for it and we found it, and there was a huge line, so we were like, oh, we kind of spent a lot of money already this week, so we're not going to go in. But they had all these old cars just sitting in the hotel, and
Yeah.
I wonder if the ones that aren't the Formula One theme, do they leave those there all year long? Do they take them in and out? I don't know.
Well, I was thinking they're a special event for the race. They bring them in for the race. Otherwise, I mean, that's a lot of space to hold up for those cars.
Yeah, and really nice cars. And the chance that, someone bumps it or, drops something on it, who knows? These drunk people walking by, after gambling for so long, bump a window and break a window. Oh my gosh. If I was the owner of those cars, I'd be absolutely so nervous to ever touch it. And quite frankly, if you're in Las Vegas and you're looking for an English muffin,
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. You will never find an English muffin in all of the food.
Well, we did finally.
Oh, we did.
We had to go to Wendy's. No, not Wendy's. I'm sorry. Denny's.
Denny's,
yes.
Oh, it's good time. So, looking forward to this week's race, Dan.
Yeah.
Spa.
What a course, right?
Oh, it's my favorite.
So it's my favorite. That course is iconic. It's been around forever. It's been part of the Formula One circuit since the start.
Oh, it's for a long time.
For a long time.
It's one of the most dangerous courses too.
Well, it's got a little bit safer now with the.
That's true.
With the downforce on the cars nowadays,
Yep.
and the safety features that are in the car. But yes, there are some corners that are very treacherous.
Obviously Eau Rouge being the corner that it is, just how awesome it is to see cars fly through there. If you ever have time and you're looking up Formula One cars driving through there, Formula One cars, like you said, Dan, with the downforce and everything, they fly through there so quick. When you go and watch other cars drive it, Porsche GT3s, any of these other cars, they're spinning out all the time just because from one angle that you look at it, you can't see how banked it is, or how much that turn is. It's a turn. Like, it's a serious turn. And Formula One drivers go flat out on it, which is just insane. Yes, my favorite course, my favorite part of a track.
So what are the chances of us going to see that next year?
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Yeah. And the thing about the Belgium Grand Prix, which is Spa, is it rains a lot.
It does.
Especially
and
this time of year.
Then it becomes treacherous.
Then it's serious.
Yes. Now, let's talk about the way that Formula One has been dealing with rain on courses. When's the last time that Formula One has actually ran a race with full wets and actually done more than maybe a lap with a safety car?
Like, the only time, just real quick off the top of my head, that I remember people running in full wets was Haas in Mexico?
Canada.
No, Canada.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Right. But it was on the verge of needing full wets and going intermediate. Everybody was on the intermediates. Yep. They could barely hang on. And
they red flagged the thing for like the longest time.
Right. And then Haas got a great advantage being on full wets.
Yeah.
But then it dried out.
Right.
They didn't pit soon enough. It dried out, and then the intermediates became the tire of choice.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, though, with all the spray and everything else, and can't see anything. So, with the safety concerns, no one races in heavy rain anymore.
Which makes you question. That's what I do love about Formula One, is that they do race in rain. IndyCar won't race in rain, especially in the 500, right? I get it, right? Even a little bit of a sprinkle, you're not going around that track very fast.
Well, they don't even have wet tires.
And that's what I love about Formula One, is that you're not worried that a race is going to get canceled because of the rain. But like you said, if you don't use the wet tires because it's all safety concern, why even have them?
Right.
It's all sponsorship, baby. All because Pirelli gets a lot of money for making those wet tires.
They do, but if it's just going to be that they're going to do a couple laps around with the safety car, and then the stewards are going to say, nope, we got to shut it down, we're going to wait for it to dry out, then I don't see a use for the full wets.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The full wets are... I like the idea of a race going in full wets.
I do too, but it's never going to go if there's the safety concern with spray and having no visibility. Because all you need is one person to take it slow around a corner and somebody going faster or slide,
right,
and then it's over.
It's over. And that's serious, because they're still cooking at like 150,
correct,
180 with the wets on. And
yep.
It's true. So when you're watching Formula One on your TV and they're going around and the spray's up and you can't really see, it's true. But, when I was at the Hungarian Grand Prix, it was raining and they went around one time in the wets, or the Williams car went around in the wets. And it's pretty serious. Like, the TV does it pretty good justice. But when you're out there in reality and you got 100 foot of track, 200 feet of track, pretty good distance, and you can't see 10 feet in front of you, I can't imagine going at those speeds. I mean, I get nervous in my own car here when it's raining too hard and
Right.
you can't see anything in front of you. And, you know, even with all of the safety things that Formula One has done these days, it's you just never know what could happen if you get into a really, really bad accident.
Right. And especially on Spa, because
Especially on Spa.
you know, there's a lot of fast corners that you can slide off of.
And a lot of elevation, up,
Yep.
down, up, down. If you're going downhill, you know, it's even harder to stop at those speeds. So I kind of hope for no rain because Spa is just so beautifully raced
Yes.
in no rain. Like, it's just gorgeous. But for a championship and excitement of who could potentially win, rain is awesome.
It is. It's always exciting because you got some drivers that specialize with the rain, and you got some drivers that don't do so well in the rain.
No.
And it just mixes it up. I mean, look at what happened. Was it last year or the year before when Gasly got P1?
Oh, yeah.
At Sao Paulo.
Yep.
Because of the
Brazil.
rain. Yeah.
And then they both got podiums.
Right.
Him and Esteban got
Yep.
podiums. Well, speaking of that team, Alpine, they've had quite a big turnaround this year.
They have. Now, they've always been pretty good, but there's two teams right now that are in the mix of being, you know, in that top tier. It's Alpine and it's Racing Bulls.
Yes.
And I think right now Racing Bulls have got the advantage, but Alpine has been doing spectacular. I mean, Gasly's always been a good driver.
Yes.
And I really like Gasly as a driver, and I think Alpine has really started to step up their new designs and what they put in place this year, and that car has been doing really, really well.
And I'm just glad that they gave Franco a chance, right? Like,
Right.
I feel like for a long time, Franco, and you can, I'm blanking on his name. He only had 2 races with Alpine last year. I'm blanking on his name.
Logan?
Not Logan. Anyway, I'll think it'll come to me in a minute. But you know, just kind of the cutthroat nature of Alpine for a while there, and the fact that they've given Franco, like, it feels like Franco's been told, hey, you're gonna get a year here. Don't worry about getting cut. Just drive the car. Drive the car well. And ever since that, he's been right there with Gasly. I mean, Gasly definitely has an edge on him. Gasly's in P3s more.
He's quite regularly, yeah.
You know, and with the new Mercedes engine that they have in the Alpine, they're no longer with the Renault engine. That was the best move they could have made. Not going with this engine that you've known for years, and also, quite frankly, Renault has no stake in the game anymore. Like,
right?
Why are you building an engine? Why are you with a manufacturer that really doesn't care about the sport anymore?
Well, Renault did a full exit.
Full exit.
I mean, they're not even have any components at all this year.
None. So that Mercedes engine definitely is what stepped them up. I think it gave Franco confidence. Hey, I can do well in this car. I don't have to worry about my seat being taken. And here is my conspiracy, Dan.
What's that?
I think Racing Bulls are doing way better now because there's no more Christian Horner influence.
You believe so?
I think so.
Yeah, and it's not because you think that they actually got a good car, got good drivers, and have good leadership?
I think it's all those things.
Yeah.
I don't think they were able to fully develop the car to what they wanted to develop it with when Christian Horner was in leadership at Red Bull.
Well, also, too, look at this, right? Liam lasted how many races when he was with Red Bull?
He, just like Franco, he should have never been cut that soon.
I know. But then you put him into a Racing Bull car, and now he's up there and he's getting points every week.
And quite frankly, Yuki got the short end of that stick.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Because I think Yuki could have stayed in. I think it wouldn't have been a problem to keep Oscar in the Racing Bulls, keep Liam, develop those two, because those two, in a few years, any team will take them. They maybe not any team.
Here's my conspiracy.
Tell me, Dan.
So now that Haas is partnered with Toyota, my conspiracy is I'm thinking that at some point Haas is going to make a play for Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh,
And-
that's a good theory,
Right.
Or good conspiracy. I like it.
So I'm thinking there's a possibility. I don't think that Haas will give up Bierman. Bierman's just a good young driver. He's going to progress. He's going to do well. But I think possibly when Esteban's contract is done, there could be a pull to try and bring Yuki in.
Yeah, that's another one where you're kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Esteban, what are you doing, man? What's the goal here?
But Esteban's been driving pretty well recently.
He has, but where do you go from here? You know, are you just gonna be a Haas driver for the rest? But you know, that's the thing, Dan, is when somebody like Esteban has been in the Formula One for a while now, has won a race, got a couple podiums, doing a good job, is a good racer, goes to Haas and doesn't show out. Like, that's when I think you're just doing laps. And you're doing laps, and then someday you're gonna get replaced, or you're gonna retire, and then you're gonna go to some other racing category, which is fine.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, Haas does not have a good record of having their drivers go to other teams.
Yes.
Roman Grosjean. Now, understand, Grosjean was in a bad accident.
Yep.
And he kind of got pushed out. And then you got Nico. Well, Nico is probably the only one that moved to another team, and he moved to Audi. But
which he's German. They wanted a German driver. There was, there's other things at play there, which is cool. But Nico's great too, right?
Well, yeah, I love
driver
Nico.
on
Love
his
Nico.
merit.
I think that was the best team ever at Haas, Nico and Kevin. So, anyway.
Yes, that was a great team.
But Kevin Magnussen, he spent a couple of years, took a year off while they had Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. That didn't work out very well. They're both not in Formula One anymore. They brought Mick back, drove a few more years. Mick's gone. Brought Kevin back.
Yep, Kevin back.
Kevin drove for a few more years, and then Kevin left and went to the Endurance Series.
Which he's doing great at, by the way.
I'm really happy. I have actually, I think I saw him when he was racing the in the early part of the year, the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yeah, or Le Mans, or Daytona.
The 24 Hours of Daytona. But he also did Le Mans.
He did Le Mans too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's those 24-hour races. That'll be for another podcast. But man, those races are insane. I mean, I watch them, and it's just, it's crazy to go to bed, right? And you're watching it, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. You go to bed, you wake up, and it's like they're still driving.
Right.
They've been doing laps for those 8 hours. It's just it's mind-blowing to me, and those G-forces they pull for that long.
But what also gets me in those endurance races like that too is one driver will be driving, and then you're gonna go, I'm gonna go to bed, and then they'll switch a driver, and you come back, and then the standings are all flipped upside down.
Yeah,
just because they switched out a driver. One driver is much better than some of the other drivers and gained a whole bunch of positions.
Yep.
And then they swap out again, and then positions change over. But I think, wasn't it this year in Le Mans? I mean, we're moving away from Formula One, but wasn't this year in Le Mans one of the closest Le Mans finishes in a long time?
Yeah, it was insane. And congratulations to ex-Formula One driver Nick DeVries.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They won it this year, so that was really exciting to see. And just the amount of kind of moving it back. Talk about a guy that got gypped, Nick DeVries. I mean, Once again, right? It's the culture of the team that you set, right? I get that money moves everything in Formula One. I get it. And if what we don't see is all the sponsors behind a driver that push for them to be on a team, that push for them to do well. If they do well, the team likes them, and it's like this kind of magical combination where you have people who want you to be there that are paying the team for you to be there, and the team liking you and keeping you, right?
Right.
And I think Nick DeVries maybe didn't have both of those.
Well,
or at least not a whole lot of sponsors. Probably not a whole lot of backing from the team because he started to not do so great. And that's when Daniel came into the picture.
Right. But DeVries, and then you got Logan Sargent, and then you got who else? Who else was during that year that came in, had just an atrocious year, and didn't get an opportunity to try and go further.
Yeah, go further. I mean, it's the tale as old as time, right? In Formula One with drivers who don't perform, but I think you give them a year. Great. I think Logan Sargent had plenty of time to show what he was capable of.
Right. We're going to talk about revolving door. Let's talk about the second driver that was at Red Bull. How many
oh my gosh.
second drivers did they go through? I mean,
especially after Sergio.
Right. After Sergio, it was just you got Yuki. I mean, they just kept churning through them. And, I'm glad that Hadger's doing very well, and that's good.
Too.
But there's other drivers that went up and had the opportunity, and I don't think that they just were given enough time.
Yeah, and it always felt like a little bit of, did Christian like you?
There was some of that, but I also think there was...
I sound like I'm basking on Christian so much. That's not my point. What I'm saying is just the fact that I think he controlled a lot in that team.
He did. And one of the things that was there, right? There was a high expectation for Red Bull to get points.
Yeah.
And if you were this, second driver, not producing anywhere near what Max was producing, not even coming close, they didn't have time for you.
Totally agree. And I think that's when I don't know if it was, here's another conspiracy take for this evening. I think that Sergio wasn't truly failing at Red Bull.
You don't think so?
I think he wanted out.
Well, I think so too. I think that the pressure got to him because you see that he's more relaxed now when he's with Cadillac.
Oh, man, yeah. Cadillac's great too. I mean, I love seeing Cadillac as a team.
Seeing those two drivers come back and drive at Cadillac, that's awesome. I just love it.
And the biggest American flex, I think, this was them having an all-American livery in Silverstone on the 4th of July.
Great.
Like, it's not if that's let bygones be bygones, right? We get it, water under the bridge. But I thought that was hilarious. That was the most born in America statement you could ever make, right? I get their U.S. team. You don't see Haas doing the stars and stripes.
No, no, but for me as kind of a Godzilla fan, seeing him do the Godzilla
was cool.
In Japan was I loved it.
That was cool.
Actually, next podcast I'll wear the Haas shirt.
Gotta wear the
Godzilla Haas shirt.
Yes, and I'll wear my Ferrari hoodie. I have I'll be wearing a bunch of merch, Indycar, all this stuff. It's a lot of fun. So I think that I don't know what our time's at, but something that's really exciting that's going to be coming up in this podcast is, yes, we're going to be chatting about it, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun segments on this. On this
absolutely.
Show. Dan, do you want to give a little bit of a sneak peek of what one of our segments is going to be?
So one of our segments that we're going to do, as we go along, we're going to probably get into some very heavy conspiracies.
Yes.
And as we get into these very heavy conspiracies, we're going to have a segment that's going to be called Tinfoil Hat segment. And that's where we're going to just possibly go off the rails with something that's way out there.
Way out there.
And just to let you know, there might be some of those times where people are going to go, where did you come up with this?
Yes.
It's possible.
It's possible. It's gonna be insane because, well, we won't spoil too much right now, but there's opportunities that if you want to be a part of the show, you'll get to be a part. You can be a part of the tinfoil hat segment. So more to come on that. Obviously, we're going to be on all social media platforms. You name it, Instagram, TikTok. We'll be showing clips, YouTube, and anywhere where you listen to podcasts, we'll be there.
Awesome. So any parting words other than what is your prediction for Spa this weekend?
Oh, my prediction. Do you want my conspiracy theory prediction or do you want my true prediction?
Give both.
All right, I'll give my conspiracy theory prediction. I'm going to say a Nico Hülkenberg P3.
Ooh.
A Kimi P2. And a Lewis Hamilton win.
So how'd you get with Nico P3?
I think, well, you're in Belgium. And it's pretty close to Germany, right? So it's not a home race, but it's pretty close. I think that I'm just waiting. I think that Audi team has so much potential, being a fully backed team, being their own works engine, just you name it. I think that Nico Hülkenberg is going to be the one to break through.
But the reliability has been very questionable.
It has been, and that's why it's my out there theory.
All right,
that Nico P3.
So what's your no kidding true?
I think no kidding true. I think you're going to have. I think Kimi's going to come out of the gate strong. I think we'll say Kimi P1. We'll do a George P2 if they cannot mess with each other. And I'm going to say with Red Bull on the resurge, I'm going to say a Max P3.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I kind of have some of the same feelings, but, there is some windy sections at Spa. And
the Ferrari's great. I know I don't have any Ferraris on the podium, but
Ferrari's great. So I'm thinking that P3, you might see Charles P3.
Okay, yep.
Now I'm saying that because Charles did fabulous.
Yes.
Last race, and so I'm going to say Charles P3, and unfortunately, I think Max with that Red Bull is going to come charging. Now he got kind of a raw deal, crashing out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The last race, but I think that Red Bull is going to come in, even though me. I am not a Max fan.
Right. Yep.
I think Max will probably come in second, and then the Mercedes is too strong, and
it's too strong.
And Kimi has been driving back crazy, so I think Kimi will come in first.
So you heard it here first, friends. Set your fantasy teams to the Stewards Conspiracy Corner picks, and if you want to go really crazy, put your double points on Nico Hülkenberg, right? No, I agree with you, Dan. I think that Mercedes is going to be out of this world fast, and I think without it being a sprint weekend, and they get the full 3 practices.
Well, that's going to be key for George, and that's
exactly.
That's the only reason why George may possibly come in on the top 3 is he'll get that extra time to feel out how to set the car up.
Yes. So. Yep. Well, I think that does it for us today, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy the show. Follow us, and we'll be listening.
We'll put our username right here. You guys can go follow us on all the different platforms.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
See ya.